Aquarius, hi, welcome to this channel. This is your monthly reading for September. Thank you for being here. I hope you are doing well. Let's see what's coming through for you. You can use this for your sun, moon, and rising sign. If you want to book a personal reading, my email is in the description box below. Send me an email. So, in September, we will be in the energy of Moon and Hermit. September 2025 adds to number 18, which is the Moon card in Tarot, and 18 adds to number 9, which is the Hermit. Now, moon represents our subconscious. Moon is our feminine nature, our intuition, dreams, emotions, things like that. And Hermit is, Hermit also has to do with simplifying, organizing, but with Hermit, we might come across some self doubt. So, with both Moon and Hermit, has to do with our emotions, our judgments, our emotions, things like that. So, both energies reminds us not to get distracted. It's important to listen to our own intuition and be aware of the conflicting thoughts happening in our own mind and also the distractions we come across in our everyday life. It's important to stay focused on what our priorities are, what we are trying to do, and so we don't want to um, go by our emotions. Instead, it's important to stay focused and get things done. On the other hand, it also has to do with self-care. We might feel sensitive, emotional. We might come across some memories. We might come across some old fears, self-doubts, and things like that. But this time is all about, so again, making time for ourselves, taking care of ourselves, and not letting these emotions influence our choices, how we spend our time, energy. But it's important to stay focused on what our priorities are. So now let's see what's coming through for you. And in September, we have two eclipses happening. One is in Pisces on the 7th of September, and then on the 21st, we have the solar eclipse happening in Virgo. We will talk about it later. So, Nine of Cups is in the center of the reading, covered by Chariot. Subconscious, you have Six of Cups, and past is Four of Swords. For the conscious position, you have Hermit. That's the energy of September. That's what I was talking about. Immediate future, Six of Wands. Advice is King of Pentacles. Advice is a code card. Interesting. Judgment is in the environment. Opportunities is Knight of Swords. And then final outcome card is Three of Pentacles. Okay, that's amazing energy. And Wheel of Fortune is also here. So this is you stepping into a brand new cycle here. So something is completing. A completion is happening, and you are beginning something new here. So for some, this could be travel. For some, it could be a move, because you also have Three of Pentacles. This could mean changing homes, looking for home, changing things up, changing things up. So it could be renovation, something like that happening. On the other hand, it also has to do with something to do with your career. This is where you are stepping up, you are coming across new opportunities, and yeah, so a chance for you to move to the next level. Yeah, so I will come back to that card. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune is faith, Aquarius. So this, so if there is something, so Hermit is in the conscious position. Okay, so this is what's in your mind, what's taking over your mental space. So Hermit could mean, this could be a person. Hermit is ruled by Virgo, so maybe you are dealing with a Virgo here. On the other hand, if this is your energy, this is where you are coming across some self doubts. You don't know what to do, or it could be that you are doing you are um, or like planning, preparing. You just want to make sure that everything is perfect, things like that, so this is where you are going over the details. For some, this could also be simplifying, organizing. It could be organizing something to do with documentation, paperwork, or it could be something regarding your home. On the other hand, it could also be career, accounting, banking, finance, something like that. So if there is something that you are doing which requires careful attention to the details, then this is a perfect time. Okay, because with this, it feels like you are not letting anything pass by. But this is where you are carefully going over the details to make sure everything is going perfectly well. On the other hand, organization. Yes, it could be organizing your space, your workspace, your home space, like I said, documentation, things like that. On the other hand, it could be um, this also reminds you be careful of what's happening internally as well. If like emotions, if you are coming across some uh, Knight of Swords here could mean some frustration, or it could mean um, something to do with communication here, or rushing. So that is speed. So if there is something like that happening, the Hermit reminds you, do not be careful of what's going on internally, and release what is not helpful, because you are moving into a new cycle here. So Four of Swords is in the past position. This is silence. This is where you are keeping things to yourself. This is where you are surrendering, accepting things as they are, and you are not necessarily doing anything. But this is where you are rushing. So it may have things to do with something that you are working on. If you are procrastinating, Aquarius, this is where you will have to rush to get things done. On the other hand, this also has to do with communication. If this is where you are not saying anything, but this is where getting it's actually um, piling up, and then you won't be able to take it anymore. So this is anger and frustration. So just be aware of what's happening internally, and this is a new cycle starting for you, which means that it's important to release what is not helpful. So what is it that you need to release? It could be something in your external, like something to do with your job, your relationships, people you hang out with. On the other hand, it could also be internal habits, tendencies, patterns, or it could be forgiveness, and releasing control issues, maybe. So when I said control issues, I didn't say that in a bad way. We all come across that because we all have expectations, and when things don't go the way we had planned, when our expectations are not met, then we feel frustrated. Okay, so that is something we all go through. So it's all about being aware of these emotions, like where is this coming from? Is it something in my hand? Is there something I can do about it? And how can I handle this situation um, in a healthy way? Because new cycle, so which means that a turning point. So this means that maybe you will come across something that you will have to let go of. Okay, and yes, so yeah, um I just want to take a closer look at the cards before I. Okay, in the subconscious you have Six of Cups. So Six of Cups may have something to do with your it's close relationships. So it could be siblings, childhood friendships, home, something to do with family members. So it may, this is in the subconscious. So that's where you are coming from. Or it could be that it could be something that you are seeking. There is a change happening in that area. It could be that you will meet someone. There is a phone call, messages. So you are connecting with someone here. Yes, Knight of Swords could mean communication. Yes, you also have Chariot. On the other hand, this is memories. And with the Hermit, this may have something to do with past memories. And Wheel of Fortune is something to do with past. Okay, so something, a situation that you had to go through in the past, or someone from the past is what this energy is. Maybe connecting with someone from the past. On the other hand, Wheel of Fortune here is endings and beginnings. If there is something that you are trying to do, Hermit could mean over planning, over preparing yourself, like um, self doubts, things like that. So the energy is reminding you to trust yourself. Chariot is a victory. And then you also have Six of Wands. So this is something you are completing, a project you are completing, or it could also be a new endeavor. For some, it could be travel coming through, or it could be something that you are beginning. So yeah, when it comes to self-doubts and things like that, the card is reminding you to be confident. You have King of Pentacles is your advice card. This is a king card, which is amazing, and this reminds you that whatever it is that you are trying to do here, this will be a success. However, you will have to find a way to balance things out, and you also don't want to get distracted, you know. So when I said that, what does that mean for you? So we all are at different places in our journey. We all, what's important for us is different, right? So it could be, for some it could be relationships, for some it could be their health, it could be their career, it could be something that you are trying to do here. So yeah, do not get distracted. It's important. This is where um, you might find yourself looking outside for answers. If that is the case, this is reminding you you have the answers, um, Aquarius. But that doesn't mean, you know you don't that doesn't mean not asking for perspectives, not doing your research and things like that. This means, like, yes, gather the information, connect with people, ask for perspectives, read, learn, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you don't want to follow someone's advice, their suggestions. You want to trust yourself. You want to ask yourself, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. How is it going to be helpful for me? What is best for me? Is this the right path? So you want to think about yourself, not just today. You also want to think about your future. How is it going to pan out? So that's what the energy is reminding you, but the decision has to be yours. And King of Pentacles is also a card of generosity. So it could be that you have Six of Cups. This is where you are being generous. So it could be community work. Three of Pentacles is here. This is like you collaborating with others. It could be your community, it could be volunteer work, charity, things like that. It could be you helping someone. It could be financial. It could also be sharing your know-how, you showing them how to do certain things. Yeah, or it could also be like just spending your money on someone here. Um, Gifts, presents, things like that. Yeah. Okay, so if you are not well, this is where recovery is happening. Rest, relaxation is what this energy is. And this is the next card. Okay, the so this could mean recovery. This could mean you are now ready to, uh, things are like back to routine, back to task. So recovery, healing is what this energy is. On the other hand, judgment and then hermit, both cards has to do with judgments. So it's important, if there is something you are trying to do, or when it comes to important relationships, when it comes to your communication, or it could be something that you are trying to do here, it's important to be aware of judgments. So what are our thoughts, what are our beliefs, where is it that we are coming from? So this could mean releasing judgments, forgiveness, which is what your energy is all about, Aquarius. Collaboration, working with others, and things like that. So yeah, it could be a team environment. It could be, if you are self-employed, this could be hiring, outsourcing. But in close relationships, this is where um, you will hear from someone. Maybe they need some help, and yeah. So, Wheel of Fortune, just be aware of this energy. Wheel of Fortune has to do with past patterns, habits, and things like that. So, just be aware of past experiences and how you want to deal with this situation, how you want to respond to this situation. Okay. Um, because, yeah, that's important to know. So, like I said, in September, we have two eclipses happening. On the 7th of September, we have lunar eclipse happening in Pisces. So, this energy has to do with releasing the past. And you have Wheel of Fortune, which is life moves in cycles. And sometimes if we are not present, if we are not conscious, then we mindlessly fall back to old way of doing things, old patterns, things like that. So so it's important you be more present, be conscious of what's happening, so you don't repeat the past. So lunar eclipse in Pisces is self-reflection, which is what this energy is about, self-reflection. And releasing. Okay, so now what is it that you need to release here? So know who you are letting in. What is it that you are letting in? Okay. uh, you have in the center of the reading, you have 9 of Cups. So 9 of Cups here, and with the Chariot, this is where you are pausing, and all these cards here has to do with a long pause. So for some, it could be that you are just taking a break and going on a vacation or something like that. For some, it may have something to do with the decisions that you have to make, because Wheel of Fortune is a turning point and you might have to make some decisions here. So with this, it feels like you are not yet ready and you can't make up your mind, because this is conflicting thoughts in your own mind, Aquarius. So this is where, like I said, over planning, over preparing, coming across some doubts, asking yourself questions, things like that. So I'm not going to say what to do, but I'm just reminding you of the energy, be making you aware of the energy, so then you can do what's best for you. Chariot here also has to do with people in your life. Judgment. This is where you have all these cards here. King of Wands is also here. You also have Justice, actually. um, and then King of Pentacles is here, Hermit is here, and then Three of Pentacles is here, and then Knight of Swords is here, Six of Cups. So this has to do with people. So it could be that you are building something together with others, collaborating on a project or something, or it could be your social circle. It could be clients, it could be family, friends, you meeting new people, forming like new friendships, things like that. So with Chariot, it feels like maybe they are different. Maybe they do things differently. They have different beliefs. They have different ideologies. But if you are asking for like advices, suggestions, just be aware not to blindly follow people's advices. But you also want to make sure you also want to access your own inner wisdom. What is it that to be true? What is the truth here? So that is important, because with this is mind. And sometimes when we, like, what I'm seeing is opposite energies. This is where you are rushing, but I'm also seeing a pause. So it's important to take a step back to really understand the situation before responding, before saying or doing anything. So ask yourself, okay, what is true? What works for me? Things like that. That's important to know. So do not get distracted. This is where I'm seeing a little bit like distraction. So know what is it all about. It could be something someone said, did, people's opinions, or it could be some roadblocks that you are coming across, some setbacks you are coming across. But um, again, something to do with someone, you connecting with someone here. But before you let them in, just be aware. What is it that you are letting in? And if you really want to go back and repeat the lessons. On the other hand, when it comes to this is abundance and prosperity. So this could mean like career advancement, you like promotion, pay raise, a new opportunity, things like that. So that's a short reading for Aquarius. Why? Yes, Three of Pentacles is where you are not trying to do everything by yourself. This is where you are getting the help you need. So it could be something to do with your business, your career, or it could also be something, whatever it is that you need help with, you are letting people help you with things. So that's nice, because everybody will have their own, skills, their expertise. So that's, so you don't have to then um, worry about doing things yourself. Yes, Nine of Cups and Four of Swords. Both these cards could mean procrastination. Is there something that needs your attention? Um, it may have something to do with home and family, or it could be like a doctor appointment. It could be paying your bills. So whatever the case may be, looks like, maybe think about writing it down whenever you remember, because this is where you are rushing to get things done. So be proactive and yeah. Okay. Let's see what's coming through on the oracle cards. King of Pentacles here could be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. It could be someone you are connecting with. This is a group environment, so it could be invitations, um, things like that, or it could also be you doing something that you are not comfortable with. So it's coming out of your comfort zone and doing something new and different. For some, it could be travel, it could be a move, it could be you connecting with new people, or it could be people from the past. All right. So Aquarius, your message is immerse yourself, training, learning, new hobbies, passions. Yeah. Something, it could be a group that, yeah, you doing something with a group, um, with a meaning a group class or something like that, taking a class and meeting new people there. Okay, let me read this out to you. Number 90. Okay. Training, learning, new hobbies, passions. Follow your desire to study and learn. Dive into what fascinates you, immerse yourself in the topic that captivates you most. Maybe there's something you are passionate about that you are called to deepen your knowledge of through study or learning, or something you want to experience more fully. You are being encouraged to increase your wisdom and to experience life in a deeper way, to follow your passions and embark on some kind of higher and deeper learning. What are your interests? What would you like to learn more about? What topic fascinates you? What could you talk or read about without getting bored? Which field are you most interested in? What makes you come more alive? Maybe you are being called to consider a new career or explore the possibility of training in a new field. Maybe you are being called to simply surrender to your passions and dive even deeper into them in your spare time. Education, whether traditional or experiential, can never be taken away from you. Knowledge can open the mind and lighten up the soul. What do you want to understand more deeply? Is there something you have been considering studying, whether in a structured way or more experientially? Is there a course or program you are interested in? Is there something you are longing to explore for yourself? What piques your interest? What could you learn about without getting bored? What soul inquiry? What interest you or make you come alive? Lot of questions. And then Knight of Swords is also here. Again, questions. So, yes, yeah, a turning point. This is where you are doing something new, something different. Yes, it may not feel comfortable, but this is something, maybe something that you always wanted to do, a curious, a childhood dream. So yeah, for some it could be going back to school. uh, this is also you seeking guidance, so it could be taking a class, it could be reaching out to a teacher, a counselor. This could be someone you are meeting, so could be a counselor, could be a teacher, a healer, someone you can learn from, Yeah, Knight King, King of Pentacles is spending your money wisely. So it could be again um, spending on investing in yourself, Aquarius, investing in your, like, sharpening your skills and using your resources wisely. On the other hand, what I also want to remind you is, like, if you are coming across some new ideas, if there is something you want to do, it's important to let that form completely before you take any action, before you respond, because maybe that will help you come into a completely new, you will that will help you see things in a totally different way. For some, it may also have something to do with social media presence. So this is where it could be that you are um, this may have something to do with content creation, and this is where what I'm seeing is you coming across, like, it could be people, again, comments, people's opinions. Yes, if you are putting yourself out there, be ready to you will come across different kinds of opinions, but it's important to know whether you want to respond, or whether you just want to save your time and your energy. So yeah, that is something that's coming through. But if there is something important that you are trying to do, it's important to, like, sit with it and let it form completely before acting on it. And it's also important you keep things to yourself. If there is something important, you want to maybe talk to only those people who you can trust. But keeping things to yourself maybe would be a good idea. But travel is coming through for some of you guys out there. So Aquarius, that was a short reading. I hope this was helpful, though. Remember to watch the moon and the rising sign as well. And I hope you have a wonderful month ahead. Please take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading.